Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I am playing with the Flower Market stamp set from Brutus Monroe, and I also have some pretty awesome Chroma Mists. Now I have an idea for a card, so let's see what I can do. Alright guys, so I am using my stamp positioner tool here, and I'm just going to go ahead and stamp out a couple of the images. So we have this wooden bucket and floral and also some leaves. Now I am using, of course, Brutus Monroe's Raven Detail ink. This is the absolute best ink in the world, guys, and that's no joke. It works with alcohol markers, it works with watercolor, it works with ink, it works with pencils, pens, regular old markers, your good old Crayolas, you name it, it works with it. And it is definitely my favorite ink. And I had gone through black ink pad after black ink pad after black ink pad trying to find something that was kind of a one-stop shop, right? Like, I don't want to have 16 different black inks. I just want to have one. I want to have one good go-to black ink, and this is it. So now I went ahead and trimmed down a piece of paper from the paper pad, and I'm taking the little basics circles. I think it's basic circles. I can't remember the name exactly. I'm using that stencil, and I'm just putting some modeling paste through it over top of the printed paper. Now, sometimes I think we get in our heads and we think, oh, the printed paper's decorated. No, you can still decorate the printed paper. Do the things, guys. Do the things. So I'm just taking white modeling paste, and I am using a silicone brush. You could use a silicone brush, a palette knife, an old gift card, whatever. Don't use a new gift card. Whatever you have to get your media through. Now look at that. Those little dots are absolutely gorgeous. So I did put them on a slight slant, and that's just because if I didn't get the dots exactly straight, if it was put on a slight slant, it looked like it was on purpose. But if I just screwed it up a little bit, then it's going to look wonky. So now I'm going to go ahead and take some Chroma Mists, and I am going to paint in my stamped images. As you can see, I am painting directly over the black lines. Nothing is bleeding. Nothing is falling apart. It's a gorgeous thing, you guys. It's a gorgeous thing when you paint over your black stamped images and nothing happens to them. Now, I will tell you, I do dip my brush directly into the bottle. If that is something that bothers you, you can always pour it out into a little paint palette or any other type thing like an acrylic block or something like that. So I just did those little dollops up there because my paintbrush, I stuck it too far into the bottle, and I have ink all over the brush now. It's not just on the bristles, it's on the brush handle itself. So, you know, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. So I'm just going to paint all of these in. Now, this is leaf green. What an appropriate color, right? And then the pink that I'm going to use is actually coral, and I think it is just a gorgeous color. Now, I'm not doing any kind of highlighting or anything like that on this. The beautiful thing, I think, about the Chroma Mists is that you can obviously spray them, treat them as a mist, any kind of thing like that, but they have such gorgeous depth of color that you just can paint with them. You don't have to add shading if you don't want to. You don't have to add shading if you don't want to spend the time doing that. They're just gorgeous colors. Now, because they are a water-based product, you can shade them, you can blend them, you can do all of the watercolory things. But me, I like my coloring in easy, guys. Even when I colored in coloring books with crayons as a little kid, I never shaded. I never did anything like that. I was more interested in outlining in a nice deep dark wax crayon and then shading in softly. Do you know what kind of coloring I'm talking about? I felt like it packed a big punch, but it was easy. And that's what I'm doing with my paint as well. So I do go ahead and add on a little bit of magenta sparkle on the top. Now that I'm doing just to get the sparkle. It's not really adding a whole heck of a lot of color to it. It's just adding an extra layer, but nothing is being blended, right? Like I am just literally putting one color on top of another color. I'm not worrying about shading. I'm not worrying about blending. I'm not worrying where light is supposed to hit the flower petals. No, easy. One color straight on top of the other. So now I discovered, whoops, those inside of the flowers might be a different color than the outside of the flowers. So what do? I grab Bumblebee Yellow. I think this is Bumblebee Yellow. It might be Yellow Orange. It's either Yellow Orange or Bumblebee Yellow. And I go ahead and dollop that bad boy again, right on top of the colors I've already used. So now my card panel is dry. My modeling paste is dry. And now I'm going to put flowers in my little bucket here. So I am using the flowers to kind of look like it's a filled bucket. And then of course I have a flower at the bottom of the bucket as well, because I think that that just adds a little bit of visual interest. And then I need to stamp my sentiment. Now I really didn't have a reason for this card. I didn't have a particular person or event in mind to send it to. So I went ahead and stamped out just because. And then I went ahead and matted my card on black and also the sentiment because I love a black matted card. I just love it. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this layout. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you guys again real soon for another video.